Hello everyone. Should we even make today's episode? Honestly, I've been hesitating for a long time. This is a tip-off from a viewer, sent via encrypted email. China's pension funds are quietly being diverted to pay off debts. Jack Ma disappeared for so long. Why did he suddenly come back? The official story is that it's for AI development, but according to the tip-off, the CCP blackmailed him with an illegitimate child and gave him an important mission. In exchange, he was promised a high-level position within the system. Qin Gang has been missing for almost 3 years now. No one knows if he's alive or dead. Earlier, some photos surfaced claiming that Qin Gang was seen at the Qihao Center. But according to the tip-off, 3 separate sources confirmed that Qin Gang is indeed dead, and on the same day, 11 others were executed. This really is shocking news. The world is full of wonders. Let Wei Yu tell you about them. Hello everyone, I'm Chen Yu. Today's episode is a bit special. Recently, I received an encrypted email from a viewer. The very first sentence of the letter said that they struggled with the decision before finally choosing to tell me. This viewer asked me to protect their identity. The email was end-to-end encrypted and was deleted right after I read it. I won't reveal any details that could identify them. He said he decided to share some information with me that nobody else knows. Some of these revelations, I can actually find public sources to back them up. But honestly, some of them sound absolutely astonishing. I'm not going to judge whether they're true or false for you, but I will share my own perspective. So what exactly did he reveal? Let's go through them one by one. According to the leak, at the end of last year, the General Office ordered a nationwide crackdown on overstandard electric bikes, confiscating them directly, not for safety reasons, but to test the patience of what they consider the low-end population. This is something that can actually be verified. At the beginning of 2024, there was an electric bike fire in Nanjing that caused major casualties. After that, the State Council launched a nationwide campaign to regulate electric bikes. By December 1st, 2025, all old national standard bikes will be completely banned from sale. Out of the 380 million electric bikes in use nationwide, a significant portion will be forced to be scrapped or replaced. The new regulations are so strict that they've sparked public outrage. Speed is limited to 25 kilometers per hour, and if you go over, the power cuts off automatically. The back seat has been removed, and even the seat cushion has been replaced with hard foam. The authorities claim this is all for safety. But this viewer says that, in reality, this is a political stress test, meant to see whether ordinary people can put up with it. The Chinese Communist Party uses the term full-chain crackdown when dealing with electric bikes, using the name of safety to actually tighten control. This logic isn't unfamiliar in the way the CCP operates. The vast majority of the 380 million vehicle owners are food delivery workers, couriers, and ordinary wage earners, exactly the so-called low-end population in their eyes. They've been forced to either change their vehicles or give up their means of transportation. Did they put up with it? For the most part, yes, they did. And then, this viewer says, the next blow is about to come. The leak says that the crackdown on electric vehicles is just the prelude. After testing people's tolerance, the next step is to take money from ordinary people in the stock market, with the goal of pulling out state-owned funds to fill other holes. At the same time, Jiangsu's pension fund is already facing serious problems. About 2 years ago, Jiangsu province began to centralize pension management across the province, and since the first half of last year, Zhenjiang's pensions have been completely dependent on provincial-level allocation. Nanjing's pension fund is expected to run into problems by the end of 2025. A large number of people whose coverage has lapsed are getting calls from neighborhood committee grid workers urging them to pay up, and this is all based on data provided by the Social Security Center. The pension crisis, this isn't just a rumor, it's something the Chinese Communist Party itself has admitted. In June 2025, the Chinese Communist Party's National Audit Office submitted a report to the National People's Congress, directly revealing that local governments have been massively misappropriating pension funds and other social welfare funds to pay off debts and cover public employees' salaries, and have withheld or diverted over 4.1 billion yuan in subsidies meant for rural households, with some payments delayed for as long as 9 years. And this is only the portion uncovered by the Audit Office's investigation. Experts on China issues have pointed out that the CCP's total debt is already approaching 100 trillion yuan, with a debt ratio exceeding 100% of GDP, far surpassing the international warning line. So it's really no surprise at all that this viewer mentioned Jiangsu's pension funds are running low. Jiangsu is one of the richest provinces in China. If even Jiangsu is in this situation, what about the other provinces? The fact that grid workers are calling people to urge them to renew their insurance is also something worth thinking about. Social Security was supposed to be voluntary, so why does the government suddenly need to step in and chase people to renew their coverage? The answer is simple. The money being paid in now is used to fill the gap for those who are already retired. When there's not enough money, they need more people to renew their coverage to make up the shortfall. Pensions are supposed to be the last safety net for ordinary people. When even this safety net starts to have problems, what does that mean for regular folks? It means that after paying in for decades, you might not even get your money back. According to reports, many central state-owned enterprises have an annual layoff quota of 30%, specifically targeting senior employees with high salaries and no connections. After laying them off, they hire fresh graduates at much lower salaries to fill the positions. China Railway Shanghai Bureau goes even further by forcing employees to participate in mandatory study sessions and exams, taking up a lot of their rest time, making them feel stifled and pushing them to resign on their own. In the first half of 2025, at a certain division in Zhejiang, an older employee slashed a leader's throat with a knife. After that incident, this endless torment finally came to a halt. The wave of layoffs is something that can be verified. From 2024 to 2025, many central state-owned enterprises and large state-owned companies in China have been carrying out so-called personnel structure optimization. On the surface, this is about reducing costs and increasing efficiency, but in reality, it means laying off a large number of middle-aged, high-salaried employees. This setup of making people resign voluntarily is honestly extremely malicious. If the company lays you off, they have to pay you N+1, or even more. But if they make you so miserable that you quit on your own, then the company doesn't have to pay you anything. So forcing employees to leave has become the goal of these companies. State-owned enterprises under the Chinese Communist Party may look like iron rice bowls on the surface, but for many people now, that rice bowl has become a form of psychological torment. If you leave, you'll lose. If you don't leave, they make your life a living hell. And this is a systemic design. It's not just a problem with a few individual managers. One of the most shocking revelations in this whistleblower letter is about Jack Ma's return. The letter claims that Jack Ma came back to China because the CCP blackmailed him using his illegitimate child. His mission upon returning was to help the CCP collect complete data on ordinary citizens, including blood type, DNA, social connections, family members, all shopping records, and bank account information, and then store it all on a chip for archiving. In exchange, the CCP promised him an official position within the system and assured him that he would be allowed to build a global payment platform in the future that could rival PayPal or Visa. Jack Ma really did come back. This is a fact. Since the end of 2022, Jack Ma had been living abroad for a long time, in Japan, Thailand, the Netherlands, and also Spain. Most people on the outside interpreted this as him deliberately keeping his distance, especially after Ant Financial was forcibly shut down. But starting from the end of 2023, he gradually returned to Alibaba. In February 2025, he personally appeared at Alibaba's Hangzhou campus to lead an AI strategy meeting. People outside said this marked Jack Ma's official comeback. The official explanation was that the era of AI had arrived, and Jack Ma was back to lead the team. But what our viewer revealed is actually very plausible. We all know that Xi Jinping's crackdown on Jack Ma wasn't just because he criticized regulators in public. So what does Jack Ma have in his hands? Alipay has 1 billion users and basically controls all of China's consumer behavior and financial transactions. Alibaba Cloud is one of the largest cloud computing infrastructures in China. If you want to build a biological database, there's no need to go through the trouble of creating a whole new system. Just improve the data on the existing system. Honestly, if Jack Ma helped the CCP build a biological database of ordinary people and used it as a database for organ matching, then Jack Ma really would have done something truly terrible. The next part is actually the most shocking section of the entire email for me. The leak says that Qin Gang is indeed gone. 3 sources confirm this: senior military officials, the Nanjing University of International Relations, and the disciplinary inspection system. All 3 told him that on the same day Qin Gang was executed by injection, a total of 12 people were executed, including 10 from the Rocket Force 2nd Artillery Corps, plus the son of former Rocket Force commander Li Yucha. They were arrested on the same day that the Russian delegation visited. The reason was not the Fushaotian incident that people have been talking about. Just think about it. 12 people executed by lethal injection on the same day? Isn't that terrifying and shocking? Later, when that photo of someone who looked like Qin Gang appeared online, he said that person wasn't him. There are plenty of people who look similar, and this has already been confirmed by multiple sources. I'm sure everyone knows Qin Gang's story. In June 2023, after serving as foreign minister for less than 7 months, Qin Gang suddenly disappeared from the public eye. In July, he was removed from his post, and by October, he was dismissed from his position as state councilor. In July 2024, the 3rd plenary session accepted his resignation, and his qualification as a Central Committee member was revoked. Throughout the entire process, the Chinese Communist Party never gave a clear reason. Rumors about the Fushaotian incident have been widely circulated online. However, the claims that Qin Gang's father and illegitimate son were stabbed to death, this has never happened in the history of the Chinese Communist Party, nor could it happen, because that's not the party's biggest taboo. The Washington Post once reported that Qin Gang worked at a publishing house, but employees there said they had never even heard of him. Some media outlets also dug up that the Qin Gang in question was not the same Qin Gang. In March 2026, Ming Pao reported that Qin Gang had already been demoted to vice ministerial level and forced into early retirement. This is currently the latest publicly available statement. But the question is, if a former official of such high rank was merely demoted and retired, why has he completely disappeared from the public eye? Why hasn't he made a single public appearance? Retired officials usually still attend some events, even if they're very low-key occasions. And rumors of Qin Gang's death started from the very first day he disappeared. As we reported before, the earliest rumor was that he was killed by injection. If you go by official channels, no one can confirm where Qin Gang is now, nor can anyone confirm whether he's still alive. This viewer says he has 3 different sources confirming that Qin Gang is already dead. Whether this is true or not, I can't disprove it either. The only one who can refute these rumors is the Chinese Communist Party. If Qin Gang were still alive, all they'd have to do is let him make a public appearance, shoot a video, show his face, and all the rumors would disappear. But they haven't done that. So tell me, why do you think they won't refute the rumors? The leak finally says that in the future, counties with large populations will build dual-use military-civilian airports using small electric unmanned aircraft. These airports will be equipped with nuclear warheads, with the purpose of using ordinary civilians as human shields in the event of war. Many important cities across the country already have launchers installed in densely populated high-rise buildings, following the same logic. The construction of dual-use military-civilian airports is indeed part of China's national defense deployment. This isn't a secret. The PLA has long had a strategy of integrating military and civilian infrastructure, using civilians to shield the military and as human shields. Under international law, this is considered a serious violation of the rules of war. But the Chinese Communist Party has never cared about international law. Just like Iran or Hamas, when it comes to war, they use ordinary civilians as human shields. The claim that nuclear warheads are stored at county-level airports, as well as launchers being installed in city high-rises, is very likely to be true. You might be wondering, how do you verify whether this information is true or not? When I get this kind of information, I do actually try to verify it first to see how credible the leak is. Although some parts can't be confirmed, they also can't be disproven. So how do you decide if a leak is worth paying attention to? I have a few criteria. First, the more specific the details, the more credible it is. For example, things like people's names, place names, or organization names. Like in this email, it mentions Zhenjiang, Jiangsu, Shanghai Bureau, and a certain division in Zhejiang. These kinds of specific locations and organizations usually seem more credible. Second, I check if there are any points that can be cross-verified with publicly available information. Things like the pension crisis, electric vehicle crackdowns, or Jack Ma's return, these are all verifiable facts. Leaks just provide us with an internal perspective that we wouldn't otherwise know about. Third, how does the Chinese Communist Party react? If their response is complete silence, that's often even more suspicious than if they clarify or deny it. Qin Gang's case is the most typical example of this. Fourth, does this claim fit the CCP's usual pattern of behavior? Using leverage to control business people or misappropriating public funds, these are all common tactics they use. At the end of this email, he said that a lot of the political content on YouTube shows is actually far from the truth. Then he brought up a pretty controversial point. He said that Wang Jian isn't actually serving the CCP. As for his revelation, I have some reservations, but I think the rest of what he said is pretty credible. So if Wang Jian isn't working for the CCP, then honestly, he must just be bad by nature. But personally, I lean toward thinking he's part of the CCP's overseas propaganda machine. It's just that his goals and assignments are different. Also, this whistleblower provided the names of some credible independent media channels, but I won't list them all here. I believe that as long as you create content with a clear conscience, people will eventually recognize its authenticity and credibility. Time will tell a horse's strength, and a person's true character is revealed over time. What I can do here on Weiyu is to share with everyone what I know, see, and hear, and to present it as truthfully as possible. I don't vouch for anyone, nor do I cover up for anyone. If our friend is still watching this episode today, I want to thank you for your trust and for providing us with these tips. If you have more to say, I also hope you'll continue to share more information with everyone. After watching all these revelations today, which one shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. Type 1 for the pension crisis, 2 for Jack Ma being threatened, 3 for Qin Gang's death, 4 for preparing human shields, or 5 if you were shocked by all of them. And finally, please don't forget to give this video a like. Liking is an act of kindness. Thank you all and see you next time.